Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Green Pill Secret. I'm Kat. With me, as always, is the lovely and charming Jeffrey. Today, we are talking about going to the doctor and
Not
the,
the good one. Not the
yeah,
not the
not
one
the
that's
good
on the
one.
TV who goes by who.
Yeah. And the going to the doctor can sometimes be a really, really great experience,
Yeah.
and sometimes not so much. And we unfortunately, as a society, have been conditioned to, I don't know, treat doctors like they're some sort of demigod,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
to treat medical professionals like they're some sort of demigod, and sort of just sit there and let them do whatever and be however, and just blindly accept whatever they're doing or however they're being, and then go home. And that's not okay.
No, it's not. I mean, oh, okay, I get it. You did 10 years of school after high school. You did your MCATs and all that other stuff that you did. I get it. You did this for years and years. But dude, you're still a human being and we're human beings. Treat us with some respect. That is the first and foremost.
Let me tell you something. The absolute biggest thing for me with the doctor, yes, of course, skill, but empathy is just the biggest thing. See me as a person, see me as a human being. When I tell you that she was up there in years, and this was in 2003. So I'm going to assume that this woman is probably retired now, and good,
Hmm.
because when I tell you about this woman who diagnosed me with my multiple sclerosis and how she had no soul, okay, no soul. And it's weird because it's like the more successful they get in their field, the more they lose their soul. I
Right.
don't get it. I was talking about this with my pain doctors the other day, and they were agreeing with me. It's like it's just weird. She left a message on my voicemail, which first of all, you're not supposed to do
No,
on a
HIPAA. Oh my
Friday.
goodness.
Hell yeah,
Oh, on a
HIPAA says
Friday
no.
when you can't call back. Oh,
Yeah, on a Friday, telling me that there was some areas of I'm looking at the results of your brain MRI. There were some areas of inflammation, but what call the office and tell them to squeeze you in. Okay, bye. So she tells me that my brain is swollen, and
hmm.
then she goes out of town for the weekend
Oh
and
God.
doesn't
Oh,
call to check her messages,
oh,
and wasn't back till Tuesday. I had to work all weekend, okay?
right.
As I was working as a strolling actor at a restaurant. I had to go and like be funny. I had to go be
Right.
funny and charming. I sat there. First of all, I took a lot of Ativan. Second of all, I just kept telling myself, I'm so brilliant that my brain just can't hold all of it, and
Right.
it has to be swollen. Whatever you do to get through. And I go in there on Tuesday. First of all, they kept me sitting in the office for over an hour and a half. And second of all,
Mm.
I go in finally. She tells me that I have multiple sclerosis. I'm sitting there. Her desk is very wide. She's
Hmm.
got a box of tissues next to her. I can't reach it. I'm
Oh,
sitting there crying, and I'm wiping my tears on the
right.
sleeve of my hoodie. Okay. And the bitch never offered
Crazy.
me a tissue.
That's insane. How could someone be? I mean, look,
No
you,
soul.
you're given this diagnosis of MS, and my aunt had MS. I know that that can be a very debilitating disease. You have your good days and you have your bad days. You don't know. It's a roll of the dice whether this is going to be a good day or a bad day, and that's what it is. That's what it's like. And of course, one of the best presidents ever had MS. Obviously, we're talking
President
about Jed
Bartlett.
Violet.
Yes.
Yes.
That's beside the point.
But that's
We
beside the
could do an
point.
entire episode on the West Wing and how we wish it was.
Yes, we could. Yes,
Um,
we could. But
but
no.
but yeah, and so I mean, this is the honestly, I'm going to start a relationship with a new doctor, I typically tell them this story, and I say, look, if you think that this is acceptable behavior, just tell me now
Right,
before
right,
our relationship goes any further. I think I deserve a call back within 24 hours. I
right.
don't think that's a lot to ask.
Yeah, yeah.
You
That
know,
that
I think that's reasonable.
right. I
And
mean, the Friday call, the Friday mail and the Friday call is about the most cruel thing you can do. And the doctor should at least know that this is something that is going to be eating at you, eating at you, and eating at you. So please be available if the notification comes on a Friday. Don't do that, especially on a long weekend. Not to saying that this one was, but oh my goodness. And then you're spewing and spinning and spinning and spinning all weekend long. Been there, and we're talking about things that aren't doctor related, whereas you're dealing with encephalopathy, and all of that. And oh my God, yes, I'd be spinning too.
it was horrible. You know the episode, the episode of the Golden Girls where it turns out that Dorothy has chronic fatigue syndrome and she
Mm-hmm.
goes to doctor after doctor after
Mm-hmm.
doctor and they
Mm-hmm.
all blow her off.
Right.
Um, and they tell her, because she's a woman over 50,
Yeah.
cut. First of all, the with women, the older you get, the more invisible you get.
Yes, you do.
Uh,
Yes, you
Second
do.
of all, it always comes down to your weight. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
think you need to lose weight or
Uh,
you need to gain weight, or, it has something
mm,
to do with your weight, or
right.
are you depressed?
Oh,
It's always one of those.
right.
I mean, look, I do yoga, and if one more person fucking tells me to do yoga to make all of my
Oh,
problems go away,
oh,
I'm gonna shoot them. Okay, like,
absolutely.
please. And I know how great yoga is, but if one more person suggests it,
Right. Well,
go
yeah.
away.
Oh, and
But
then
so for those
yeah.
of you who are not savvy in Golden Girls, Dorothy goes to specialist after specialist after
Mm-hmm.
specialist, and finally she sees a guy who in fact is Asian, so he's
Mm-hmm.
more open to things, and
Right.
um who tells her that she has chronic fatigue syndrome. And she is so relieved to get a diagnosis finally that her and her friends all go out to a schmancy restaurant to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're there, she sees one of the other specialists
All right.
there. And she's like, I'm going to go over and talk to him right now.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you that I've seen this episode so many times, I can practically recite it for you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, B. Arthur being completely savage. And
Mm-hmm.
every single time I want to stand up and cheer. I hope beyond hope that this episode is forced viewing for medical students because it
Right.
should be. Because she goes over and she says, Look, you dismissed me. I went to you sick and scared, and you
Right.
dismissed me
Right.
and is angry. One of these days, I will, she says, I expect that if I had been a man, you might have taken
Mm-hmm.
me a little more
Oh yeah.
seriously
Oh
and
yeah.
not told me to go get my hair done. But,
Right.
one day, because he's younger than her, one day you are going to be on the other side of the table and as
Mm-hmm.
angry as I am with you and as angry as I always will be, I'm quoting verbatim now, I
Mm-hmm.
still wish you a better doctor than you were to me.
Oh yeah. The magnanimity of it all. That's absolutely, and I remember the episode. That was a really good episode. Oh, B. Arthur, bless her.
He starts to, interrupt her, and his own wife goes, Shut up, Lewis.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Do
That was a
not
good one.
even.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I love that.
Homie's
That
not
Dorothy
getting
was
sex
awesome.
anytime soon.
Yes.
Homie did
Yeah.
bad. But
Hmm.
I mean, oh my God. Now, look, I have had some very excellent experiences with doctors.
Right.
When I went to interview the woman who was going to be my obstetrician, um, I go in there and she looks me up and down, and the first words out of her mouth are to tell me this story about the time she was living in India and had her nose pierced. I don't know
Hmm.
if you can see from here, but I have a
Right.
nose. And immediately it was like, way to put me at ease, way to
Hmm.
make me feel comfortable, way to, to say that you see me, to say that
Right.
you notice me. I mean, I go to Mount Sinai for to my pain specialists, and it's your pain doctors. So they're going to stick you with needles, they're going to do unpleasant things.
Right.
And when there's something that's going to hurt, I always go, do you have any questions? Yeah, can I curse in front of you when it hurts? And they're all like, oh, yeah. My obstetrician was like, yeah, can I curse in front of you? I said, fuck yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but the
Awesome.
pain guys were like, oh, yeah, we've heard everything. Um, I'm not sure if they'd heard the curses that came out of my mouth when they
Right.
stuck a large and painful needle into my neck, because my cursing gets a little colorful. Uh,
Right.
but
But
oh, my
legit.
pain guys love me.
Yeah.
Um, but it's so important. And anyway, the thing is that don't put up with it. Don't,
No.
ah,
No, if your doctor is dismissing you, do not put up with it. It may be time to get a new doctor. I will say that I have not had too much of that, but I'm a man. I get it. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. And the way the pain scale is like, oh, let's see, she's giving me a 6. Well, that must be a 3 on the pain scale. It's like, no,
oh,
they're
the
dismissing the
pains.
pain
Don't get
on
me
women.
started on the pain scale.
Yeah, oh, I know, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's because I'm
One
always like, on a scale of what? On a scale
exactly.
of what? Nothing to childbirth? On a
Right,
scale of,
right.
although one person did say, 1 is nothing, 10 is if I set you on fire.
Yeah. Well, now there you can get it. Yeah. It ain't quite
Cool.
fire. So
Give
there you
me
go.
something to,
Yeah.
well, and then also it's, pain, chronic illness pain scale
Of
means something
course.
totally
Of
different. Because I'm
course.
like, I'm always in pain.
Hmm.
So